Hello Reformers and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now when we left off we were attacking the Dashar, and I am going to aim in this episode to have taken all of their fiefs. Let's begin and see whether we can defeat this fellow on the fields of battle. Now bear in mind I am still a little bit injured because we had just basically finished a siege, and well, that's just how it is sometimes. Anyway, not entirely sure what my battle size is currently. Oh dear. I think my battle size is actually really large. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to get some stuttering here, unfortunately. That's just how it has to be. If you're seeing the stuttering, I apologize, but it is much worse for me. Don't worry, it is much worse for me, so hopefully it's going to be relatively stable on the video. Who knows, but what I do know is that we will be able to murder. Yes, we will be able to murder as many of these enemies as we can get our hands on because, well, with the increased battle size, it is going to make it a lot easier for our knighthood order to basically kill as many as they need to, really, and as many as they can, because we just have so many available. I mean, just look at this. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity with these guys. They are crazy good. And I'm not entirely sure if they are equipped yet with the Doom Mace. I don't know whether that is indeed a thing just yet. We're going to tell our infantry and cavalry to charge in. We'll leave our archers where they are. And that is even if we have any. I don't even know whether we have any at the moment. I do know that my sword is not the best, so definitely going to have to do something about getting that additional rune weapon, but I thought that maybe it would be a better idea to just eliminate the Dashar and then go from there and see what we could do about acquiring another rune weapon, because as it stands right now I only have one Qualis gem, I believe, so having another Qualis gem available is definitely going to be something that we'll require, and we currently don't have that, so it will definitely be something that we will want to do before we, you know, get another rune weapon, because if we can't upgrade the rune weapon then it's basically pointless, isn't it? So yeah, we'll just see how I can do that. And what I would like to also do is, of course, make this territory relatively safe for us to kind of run around in, because at the moment there are many vassals in the area, and they are, well, they're basically hunting for me. They're basically hunting for me at the moment, and that's not very good at all. That is not very good at all. So yes, it's going to be a bit difficult to deal with those guys. Oh, Frederick! He's advanced to level 28. Very good, Frederick. Very nice. And yeah, oh, wow. That is a crazy looking battle map right there. Look at that. It's actually kind of cool. The way that all of the little dots are moving around and everything looks like some kind of surrealist abstract painting or something like that. But anyway, point is, we are going to be perfectly fine here. We're going to have no problems whatsoever. You can see that clearly because we have eliminated already 230 and counting of the enemy's units. Alright, so there's 54 renown for our victory there. I actually eliminated 21 out of the 399 that were taken out there. And now we do get the opportunity to take this guy prisoner, but as I've said previously, honor is basically king in regards to what we are prioritizing. And I have quite a lot of money as it is, so we are not going to be ransoming him. Technically, I could have gotten his unique weapon, but that's the thing, don't really need it, you know what I mean? Don't really need it, so basically not going to be doing anything like that. And I think that's the guy, isn't it? Isn't that the leader of the isn't that the leader of the Dashar? I'm actually unsure about that. Yes, it's been such a long time since I've faced the Dashar in battle that it might be, or it might not be. I don't really care, to be honest, because we are going to be besieging Torbah. And all of the vassals, did you see them? They ran off to the right. Not entirely sure what they're doing there, but I'm pretty happy with that, actually, because that means I will have the town all to myself. And as you can see, they're not actually doing anything to stop us. So let's do this. We have... oh, look at this. This is cool. Oh, this is actually really cool. I like these. I like these little setups here, even though we are going to get absolutely pin-cushioned by huge amounts of arrows as we enter. Speaking of entering, we do need to get everyone to hold position in here, thank you very much. That would make sense. And let's get our cavalry out the front. Let's actually get our infantry at the very front there. And I'm going to take so much damage from these guys right here because I am not having anyone else to take the damage for me. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to worry too much about it because once our forces are in here, well, hopefully most of the attention of the enemy will be diverted away and then they will begin dying. Yes. I mean, all these Knighthood Order units are basically death warrants for every single unit that they come up against. They are just so incredibly crazy. Even our companions are really, really good at what they do, but obviously Sigismund is not really able to get that many kills in comparison to our Earls of Grey. That's exactly kind of the reason why I wanted to go for actual bows rather than crossbows, because obviously we do have the obligatory Noldor bows that are just so incredibly good. How can you not use them with a Knighthood Order? And I'm not entirely sure, is there actually a better bow for a Knighthood Order? I don't think so. I think the Noldor bows are probably the best, unless... I don't think they can actually get rune weapons. I think that's a bit much. You know, getting rune weapons is going to be way too tricky, and probably actually not even possible. It's probably not even possible, let's face it. I mean, really, having an entire army full of rune weapons, can you imagine? Wow, that would be pretty insane. But from what I can tell so far, we've already eliminated 122 enemies. So I'm pretty happy with that. I actually don't even need to do anything here. I don't know whether I should really just... you know what, I'm just going to stand here and just shoot every now and again. And I'm just going to try and keep myself alive. And we're going to try and bait the opponent into coming to the edge here. Because if they come to the edge, they're going to get shot almost immediately. And probably killed. Ow. Thank you very much. Ah. Yes. Thanks. Thank you so much for that. Good work. Yeah, so now I've got an arrow sticking in me, and that's great because that makes it very hard to actually aim, as you can see. Yeah. Oh, hello. You're going to try and shoot me, are you? Well, no. You're dead now. Thank you. Okay, let's try and shoot that guy as well. There's a whole bunch of archers coming to the side here, and I'm going to just try and eliminate as many as I can possibly get my hands on, or my arrows on, either one. And how many have we eliminated so far? 215 almost. Well, I think that's pretty good. Maybe we can eliminate that guy. Oh, he's got a shield. That's kind of... Ah! That was... yes, that was kind of to be expected, let's face it, kind of to be expected. Okay, so we eliminated 225 before I actually perished there, which is pretty good. I gotta say, not too bad. Now, you may have noticed that the video, if it was stuttering before, it should no longer be stuttering because I have lowered the battle size to the standard, because I was obviously playing 108 heroes recently, and usually that uses about a default battle size of about 150, whereas when I'm playing a World of Ice and Fire, the max battle size is like 700 or 750 or something like that. And I'm actually going to be retreating here as well. So we're just going to build the ladders once again and heading back inside. I really wanted to just go at them straight away. I misclicked. Did you see that? Ooh, that's going to be painful. That's going to be pretty painful. Well, maybe it's not going to be too bad, because that means that we can hopefully eliminate, or at the very least, weaken the opponent in a pretty significant way. Anyway, let's get our infantry over here, cavalry around here, and archers here. Anyway, as I was saying, basically, the battle size that I had at the very beginning of the episode was maximum, which is, I think, in Pendor around 530. And that's a bit too much for my PC to handle, so I have now lowered it to about 300, which is about the sweet spot for not getting any stuttering when in these kinds of battles and sieges and so on. So it's very good for us to go for something like that. I might try to increase it dependent on the mod, because some of the mods, obviously with kind of more default armor and things like that, usually will run a lot better than ones with unique armor and things like that. And it of course depends on how efficient the coding actually is, because sometimes coding, you know, it's very difficult. You know, I mean, I don't know whether you've actually gone into the Warband game files or anything like that, but let me just tell you, it's an absolute mess. There's just so much coding in there, and I mean, obviously, it's a game, you know, it's a game. They're bound to have, you know, files with coding and all that sort of thing. And usually they're hidden, you know. Usually in games they're hidden by something or another, or you need a special program to look at it or whatever. But in Warband, they're just notepads, you know, they're just notepad documents, and you can edit them however you wish. And that's, of course, one of the greatest things about the game, that you can actually edit anything you want, basically. And obviously that does require a little bit of expertise in programming, I would assume, a little bit at least, for modding and things like that. And it's always very impressive to me when someone knows how to do a little bit of modding here and there. But as I say, it's a huge mess to go through all of that stuff and to optimize a mod significantly. And, well, that's just how it is, you know? That's just how it is. And it could just be that because my PC is pretty old now, that it is a, you know, it's just a symptom of that. It might just literally be because my PC is a bit old, and it might have its own little intricacies and little idiosyncrasies and things like that that will make it stutter, where someone else with the same kind of age of PC might not have stuttering on a high battle size, but might have different issues. That's the thing with computer games. Usually there are a wide variety of different problems. That's generally the reason why some developers may not even want to port to PC, because there are just so many different, you know, configurations and very many different systems in comparison to developing for a PlayStation or an Xbox, because every single Xbox and every single PlayStation is the same, with the exception of obviously the special editions, you know, PS4 Pro and Xbox One X or whatever it's called, and you know, all that stuff. So that's generally the reason why developers won't go for PC if the margins are not good enough, you know, because it's just such a huge hassle to develop a game for every single kind of PC, you know. And that's the reason why people have problems, you know, if they have an AMD CPU. I mean, I remember a long time ago when Brink, I don't know whether you know the game Brink, but when Brink came out, it had huge problems running with AMD not software, hardware, so like CPUs. And well, did they even have? Yeah, they did have CPUs back then. Yeah, obviously. Anyway, the point is that graphics card, you know, an AMD graphics card or ATI or whatever they were known as back then, they ran really badly. You know, Brink ran really badly on that hardware because, of course, it had been developed with NVIDIA cards in mind, and as a result, the whole, you know, specification of the game just ran super harshly on AMD hardware, and it was really sad because the game was really fun, or at least I thought it was really fun. It's just unfortunate it didn't really work out as intended. I think some of the main problems with it were the fact that the time to kill, because obviously it's a shooter, you know, it's a shooter game, so obviously it's going to be, you know, the time to kill was a little bit too long for people, I think. So in general, there was like different classes, different body types as well. So you could play as a really big buff guy with huge amounts of HP, but he was a little bit more sluggish because it's a parkour game. You know, you can run along walls and you can jump over things and all that sort of thing. And you know, then you can obviously play as the normal body type and the thin body type, and you can have different stats as a result of that. But the point is that I think the time to kill was a bit of a problem there. But then it went free to play. It actually went free to play like a year or two ago, I think. I'm actually unsure when it went free to play, but yeah, you can play it at any time now. But obviously the player base is very small, I think. So it's a cool game to play with friends, actually, because it's pure co-op. You can play against bots if you want to, but yeah. Anyway, the point is that that's the reason. I think that is mostly the reason why developers will usually not port to PC, because there's just so much work involved in making it work with the PC architecture. But that's the reason why the PlayStation 4 is actually pretty cool, because it's kind of using the same architecture, so that's kind of nice. But anyway, point is, I'm going to end up doing the rest of this battle, and I'll see you after that. You know, I gotta say, this is actually a pretty cool sight. I mean, just look at this. I was just running through here, basically riding through on my horse, just slaughtering anyone that I came across, and this sight was just super cool in my opinion, because I was just running around and enemies were coming from all kinds of different directions, because of course now that my horse archers and various cavalry have been charged in, they are usually running around in various small groups and you know, doing their thing. And I gotta say that having these enemies come from all over the place was actually really fun, because they were fighting in small groups here and there, and I could just run through, slice them and dice them, and that was it. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, I just want to touch upon the point that I was attempting to make in the previous cut there, and I just want to say, just add very shortly, that Brink now works with AMD stuff, so you don't have to worry about that if you're thinking of playing it or whatever. But yeah, they fixed the issue. As far as I'm aware, they fixed the issue. But anyway, there you go. There's only 176 remaining. Well, there it is. A victory for us once again, and yeah, another 176 kills, 9 of those ours, and we can now tell everyone to go away and give me some honor. Thank you very much. Now, that fellow that we first let go has a really high relation with us. This guy also has high relations with us, so technically, if we were to create our own faction at some point, then they are probably going to join us. That's almost a certainty, I would say. They have a pretty high relation. All right, so let's continue to lead our soldiers. Oh, hello. Okay, they're actually wanting to attack us. They're actually wanting... Oh, wow, this is kind of weird. This is kind of weird. I haven't actually done a... sally out with this kind of weird layout before, so I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. Guess I'll just tell my people to charge in. That's basically all I can do, because waiting out here for them is probably not the best idea, is it? Actually, you know what? You know what? Let's actually just come back. Let's come back here. Let's let them come through here, and then we'll just kill them. We'll kill them in the bottleneck. We'll kill them in the bottleneck. That sounds like a better idea than, you know, letting ourselves go through the bottleneck and then getting murdered. Yes, let's do that instead. Seems like a good plan to me, and it seems like it's working pretty nicely so far, because the enemy, I don't know whether the enemy is limited on arrows either. I don't know whether they are, so obviously that's a bit of an issue, but I think we should be okay. I mean, you can see here that our forces are really, really powerful, very good at what they do, and they don't even have their Doom Maces yet. I'm not entirely sure why that is. It's taking quite some time for them to get those, which is kind of unfortunate. Gonna try and see if I can snipe one of those guys over there. Nope, okay, failed. Great. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so how are we actually doing here? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hold position back here, once again. Gonna pull everyone back. And I'm going to get ready to charge them in straight away. There we go. Okay, let's charge them in straight away, right there. And that means that they will go back in such a way so that they will let the opponent out just a little bit of the bottleneck, so that we outnumber them and have a little bit more space to swing our axes and everything. And then we will murder many, many more of them. So that's very good. And who knows? Maybe we will be able to... How many are there even? There's not even that many here, which is kind of a bit weird, but okay. Let's do the same tactic again. Hold position back there, let our forces draw them out, and then charge back in again. And see what we can do. Is that a... Wait a minute. Was that a vassal right there? Did you... No, that was an Empire Knight. He looks very fancy for just a regular... Oh no, there was a vassal there. Look at that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, it's nice that we've actually eliminated him in this particular situation, because I did not want to face him in the garrison itself. I think that would have been pretty harsh. Speaking of harsh, I really don't want to die here, because that would probably make things a bit more complicated for us. Murder that Ravenstone, thank you. And now we have to be a bit careful here. Gonna get my shield out. Gonna make sure I don't get killed. And I might actually have to wait before we head inside to the actual siege, which is not... not agreeable. Not something... Not ideal, shall we say. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, could you stop moving backwards? I would very much appreciate slaying you. There we are. Done. Wow. A significant amount of renown for that. I am actually really surprised. 91? That's crazy. Okay, well, we're just going to wait here for some time. We are just going to wait here, and hopefully I'm going to wait here for maybe a day or so, and then we'll head in. Alright, so here we go. We have waited. I'm a little bit injured still, but that's just how it has to be. And I don't know how many units we actually have available here. I mean, I don't know how many of our people, you know, got back on their feet in time, but it seems like Lethal Durin is up and running, so that's all that really matters. Because he obviously got himself eliminated on that previous little engagement that we had with the opponent, so obviously it's nice to know that he's back up, which means that most of our people will be back up, because he has a lot of HP, and if our wound treatment was good enough for him, then it's going to be good enough for most of our people, so that's pretty good. Anyway, let's put our infantry just a little bit closer. And that is good. There we go. Okay, we've got a pretty fantastic setup right here. I am actually unsure what I should do. Should I just wait for our people to utilize all of their arrows, unleash them all against the opponent, or should we do this a bit strategically and send our people up here before the enemy gains reinforcements? Yeah. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to wait until the enemy has about 70. Oh, wow. New enemies already? Okay. We can't wait until they have about 70 then, by the looks of things. That's very strange. I was actually anticipating them getting reinforcements much later. So that means that they are... we should probably charge them in around about now, I guess. Should we charge them in? Yeah, let's charge them in. Let's try and get a foothold on the battlements. Don't know whether it's going to work, but we'll try our best. Okay, come on. Murder. Murder. Yes, I am calling for murder. Thank you very much. Oh no, it's not working out too well, is it? No. It's not working out as intended. Really wish I had some kind of raw mechanic right now to kind of scare these guys away. That would be nice. Okay, come on. Let's push in. Let's push in. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're in. But at what cost, really? At what cost? Let's just see. See if I can murder these fellows. I'm actually going to get my bow out in just a second. I think my bow is going to be much more effective at killing everything here. Oh, hello. Who's that? Is that a Scorpion Assassin, right? I think that's a Scorpion Assassin. Hey, come on now. That's not very nice. How dare you? Okay, I'm going to get out my bow. Going to shoot that guy in just a second. Shoot him in the knee. He's not an adventurer, but he's definitely some kind of Scorpion Assassin kind of thing. So I'm just going to try and do as much damage as I can by shooting them in the back. Very, very honorable indeed. But it's the only thing I can kind of do right now, so gonna just have to accept it. And maybe I can... Oh, it's a Wind Rider. Oh, it might be just a Wind Rider. Okay, so let's kill these guys that are coming up here as well. I have 19 arrows. Might as well make good use of them. Kill him. Kill that guy. Yes, don't get shot. Thank you. Okay, so if I can maybe prevent myself from getting shot by those thrown weapons, we should be... Ah! Yes, thankfully I have really good armor on, so obviously it does make it a lot easier to survive, which is great. Because if I didn't have that armor on, I think I would be dead 10 times over by now. There we go. Nice shot. And there we go. Okay, I think we're doing really well, actually. Kind of surprised. I thought we were actually going to have some difficulties getting in here, to be honest, because initially, you saw that, when we were at the battlement's entrance, it was kind of like, whoa, there's just so many here that, you know, they're totally clogging up the battlements and making it very difficult for us to get inside, but it seems like this is indeed a victory. There's only 7 enemies remaining, and they are going to perish very soon, very shortly, even. Well, either one. Anyway. We will now be heading into the streets, I believe. 66 renown. So much renown. Crazy. And we're going to be attempting to take these guys out. Got to have to be a bit careful about them because these guys are actually outnumbering us always in the street situation. Thankfully, most of my people joining me here are companions, but the companions do have low HP because they have been fighting for quite some time without a significant rest. Let's try and dodge that guy a little bit. There we go. And murder. Okay, fantastic. Alright, so there's 3 enemies remaining. I'm going to get out my bow and do some sniping. Yeah, there we go. And can I... Oh, no, never mind. Frederick, he was just like, these are mine. These are my kills. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. That is exactly what he did. Alright, so let's do this. Who do I have? Do I have Sarah and Kasim again? Because I always have those two. I should probably swap out Sarah until she has leveled up a little bit more, but maybe this is actually a really good way to level her up a little bit, because she is getting like 1 versus 1 action here, and 1 versus many actually, so I think that's pretty good to get her some experience. And now we have everyone that we can potentially take prisoner. Going to be letting them go. Only 3 of them, which is actually kind of impressive considering. And well, I actually have no idea who I'm going to take here. I guess I will just be taking the war priests. Who else do I really want to take? Just the war priests and the knights, I guess, and the sentinels, the crow guards, crom guards. Oh, the companions are actually pretty good by the looks of things. So crow guards can go, and we'll just take those. Ghazi stalkers are very good as well. And ooh, no, chieftains are actually not that good. I actually thought chieftains were much better than they actually are by the looks of things. Okay, well, we'll just take 1 anyway. We're not going to be asking for this. And I don't have that much in the way of food. I'm going to have to go over to our thing over here, Castle Tea Time. Yeah, we're going to have to go over there and get some resupplies because I don't have any food, and it is very, very much required. I think, actually, do I have some baggage trains? Yeah, I still have some baggage trains, but not that many. I really should try and get some more of those as well. Anyway, there are only 2 castles remaining. I will probably be taking one of them off screen, and then we will face the Dashar in a last stand of their defense, and then we will turn our attention to the Empire. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.